Hey there guys, it's JupponGatana coming at you, and today we are going to go over how to play the rhythm game. Since they've added some new songs, I'm going to give you guys some tips, some tricks for both keyboard and for actually phone as well. Now, for obvious reasons, I can't play the Miku songs at all here, so we're going to see which one of these is least likely to get me demonetized. That'll be fun. But to start, so as you can see, you have a variety of songs here. They've even added a couple new ones. That's probably going to get me demonetized. That one might. You know, maybe this one won't. Okay. So to start here, there's a couple of ways that people usually just kind of neglect things. The main thing up here is this button in the top right has what's called your speed. Now, your speed, you generally don't want to put this to like 1, because what happens with 1 is on the higher stages you get what's called like note cluttering, and it makes things really hard to deal with. It's just not fun. So generally you want to have a better speed. You know, maybe 2, 2.5. I like 3. But you may even be able to play faster and respond better depending on your settings. There's also a benchmark value for like timing and other stuff. This one I don't usually mess with. I try and get the flow of the game itself. But these speeds here will kind of help you gauge things. And you're free to change them at will. So, with that being said, there's also for every stage has some targets to it. The scoring where you're at, and there's what's called feats. As you get to harder stages, one of the feats is actually doing the stage like twice and getting an S rank, which can be easy, can be hard. So now here I've gotten an A on this one back in the day, and I got 1 star. What do we have left here? Yeah, earn 2 S ranks, earn a full combo. I haven't played this one in forever. So we're going to go ahead and do this with my speed here on keyboard. And I'm just going to check the speed out, see how things are going, and then I'll show you an example of what the low speed looks like. This is a decent song. And there I hit A rank. And some of this becomes pattern recognition as well the more you play. Like, I noticed some of these patterns coming through. And I'm able to get that. I think I may have made 1 or 2 mistakes on this one when I started because I hadn't played the song in forever. But, oh, we still maintained the full combo. Okay, cool. Yeah, I had like 6 good, 5 greats. So, we got 1 more done, which we get some more stuff for here. I mean, this stuff doesn't really matter too much anymore. I forget what does the rest give? Just 30 more for that. So, now, for this one as well, there's some other things that come into play, and that is the chord synergy. Now, if you're like, so I know people are like, we're getting a lot of new people. If you want to do well at this game, there is a synergy here that will help you out, and it is chords. Chord synergy is really helpful. Like, just even unlocking it, easier to get a perfect or a great note. A miss will become a perfect every 10 seconds. these are some good ones here. You get some more tracks. 13 is really nice, especially when things get harder, but I don't try and utilize this. I try and keep the button pressed down for like a rhythm. And then the last one, you get another song. But now let's go back in here and let's do that same song, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on what I call slug mode. Super slow, not fun. Which one was that again? Where are you? There we go. Okay. Now, let's tune this down. Let's go down to a 1. And we'll keep it on hard mode. And I'll just show you what. Everything's a lot more clustered. It is. And some people can play like this. Some people get really good at slow. And I missed one there. For me, this is way more challenging. Yeah, our timing was all off. Now, some people can play like that, but I feel it's just a lot easier to make it go faster. You get an idea for the patterns, and don't be afraid to fail and try these stages again. The patterns are never going to change. Like, you can get good at recognizing, like, the triples and other things there. And if you're playing on keyboard, you just kind of have to, like, generally, like, just keep an eye, your fingers locked in on the S, D, and F keys, the J, K, L, and get used to the position of where the notes are going to be. Like, as the songs get harder, they're going to make you hit S and L a lot more. But to start off, they generally don't have you hitting those outside keys. So that's my tips for kind of like the keyboard play, for the speed, things of that nature. These will help you out. And again, pattern recognition is something there. And now we'll try like a really hard song. We'll see how we do on, what's this one? 2, 4, 6. We'll do a difficulty 8 real quick. I'll show you something that's just, it's probably going to overwhelm me, but maybe I can hold my ground. I've gotten a B on this one before. And yeah, we're getting overwhelmed hard because I'm now like panic hitting to avoid misses. Oh, I got an A. Barely. And that you're going to get overwhelmed on those. What I would kind of recommend is if it's above your pay grade, it gets hard, just there's no shame in spamming to try and like hit and at least get the B, get the lowest tier reward. That's, there's no shame in that. I did that here. It got me an A. That is a valid strategy. Now, moving on, let's move on to phone play. Now, phone play, there's a couple of things you can do. Like, one, I would recommend a holder or something here is one way to go, something that can keep the phone locked in, because when you are hitting the keys with your fingers, that phone can move around a lot. The second is to make sure you have a good case on it, and then put some like tape on the back and tape it down to a secure location. Doing that, it'll help you keep the phone stationary while you play. Obviously, again, you want to have a case on this. You don't want to put tape on the back of your phone directly, and you don't want the tape to be like too crazy sticky. I'd say like a couple things of Scotch tape might help. If you do want to use duct tape, you obviously want to wipe it off after. But doing stuff to anchor your phone helps with the play. And then about it, that's pretty much it's just practice on those songs. If you want to like master them, you can go pretty far. Or if you just want to like clear stuff, get all the rewards for most of the stages on the Miku stuff, realistically, the first and the last song, they are the hardest ones. They are the most brutal songs there. They have the highest difficulty scaling and rating. The ones in the middle, they are what I would call more beginner friendly. Even the hard, I think, is like a rating 5 or 6. Nothing too crazy. And they are good like songs to teach you. And they're also, so what we call these are charts. So the charts, I would say, are made pretty well. I feel like they looked at the original system there and they made those charts a lot more clean and like friendly to play. So those would be something that you could try on those, and then if you want to go back and practice on the older stuff, you could. Some of the older stuff, as I showed you, is a bit more rough. And again, if you want to like check the timings out, gauge your speed, those are all things to help. And yeah, I think that's about pretty much it. There's not too much to it. There's and again, it's practice. It's getting yourself set up here. I do think I recommend keyboard more for myself, but there are people who can play on the phone better. I like the keyboard more because I don't need to like do prep work to anchor down the phone and do stuff of that nature. But that's just a me thing. And if you guys have any other tips or tricks on it, throw them down in the comments below. And I mean, I normally don't do these videos, but this one, because I'm a rhythm game player, I play DDR, I play Pump It Up, Step Mania, ITG, and I play some hand games like My and Poppin'. So I play a decent amount of different like arcade games that require rhythm and timing and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'll do this. I mean, in terms of like the games where I physically hit buttons, I may be like mid-tier, like like a middle of the road player, nothing crazy. The dance game stuff, that's a whole different story. But yeah, hopefully this helps you out. Again, if you have any questions, just throw them down in the comments below. I will see you on the next one. Peace.